I almost put the boat back in the cabinet before anybody saw it was missing. 92 years old, and I still count out loud when I am nervous. 1, 2, 3, like counting is going to fix something. Started doing that during the war, my mother used to say, though I do not remember starting it. I just remember always having it. My name is Marceline. Nobody in this family calls me Marceline anymore. It is Grandma Marcy, or just Mom, or mostly nothing. You just get looked at. You do not always get called. But I want to tell you about the gravy boat. It is white, with a little gold line around the rim, and a chip on the lip you would not notice unless you had poured out of it 1,000 times. My husband's mother dropped it in 1960-something, right there on the kitchen tile, and it did not break, just chipped, and she cried anyway, like it had. I never understood that. Why cry over a chip? I understand it now. That gravy boat comes out once a year, Thanksgiving. Every other day it sits up on the top shelf where I have to get the step stool, and my son tells me not to use the step stool, and I use it anyway when he is not around. He does not know that. Or he does know and does not say. Hard to tell with Mark. He keeps things flat on his face, same as his father did. The Tuesday before Thanksgiving, I go to the grocery. Same list every year. Near enough. Celery, sage, the good butter, not the tub kind. There is a girl at the register, young, maybe 19, and she asked me last year if I was doing anything special for the holiday, and I told her I was cooking for 11 people, and this year she remembered, asked me straight off, "Same crowd this year?" And I said, "One more." And she said, "Oh, nice." In that voice young people use when they are being polite and thinking about something else entirely. And that was fine. That is how it should go. I do not need her thinking about my Thanksgiving. My hip does not love the parking lot, never has. I park far because the far spots are always open, and I do not like people watching me get in and out of the car. There was a country song on the radio driving over, one I used to know all the words to, and I only caught the chorus, and it bothered me the rest of the day trying to place it. Never did place it. I bought 12 pounds of turkey this year, same as I have bought for 11 years, ever since my husband passed, and it just became my kitchen. Before that, it was his mother's kitchen, and before that, further back than I care to add up, somebody else's kitchen. The bird moves house to house like that, generation to generation. Whoever is still standing gets the oven that year. Mark's kitchen has a nicer oven. Sure, bigger too, stainless everything. But the day still starts in my kitchen, with the celery and the sage and the boat coming down off the shelf. I do not cook the turkey there anymore, have not in 3 years. Mark insisted, said it is too much lifting for me, and he is not wrong, but I still do everything else at my own counter before Denny comes to get me. Habit is a stronger thing than sense, most days. Mark's my son, 49 now. Good boy man, I should say, but he is still a boy to me, always will be. That is just how a mother's eyes work. They do not update. He married Renee 9 years ago. She is fine. I do not have complaints about Renee. Not really. Not the kind you could point to. Renee's mother is named Fran. Fran comes for Thanksgiving now. Started 3 years back, after Fran's husband died, and nobody is going to say a woman should not have somewhere to go on a holiday. I am not going to be the one to say that. So Fran comes, and every year Fran brings a suitcase, not a purse. A suitcase, the wheeled kind, and I never did ask what is in it because it felt like asking would make it a thing, and some things you just let alone and hope they explain themselves. I used to guess, driving over, what a woman packs for one dinner. Extra sweater in case the house runs cold. Slippers, maybe. Her feet swell like mine do. Once I decided it must be a card game, something for after, in case the football got dull. I was wrong on every count and did not know it yet. This year I found out. We get to Mark's around 11. My other son, Denny, drives me over because I do not like the highway anymore. My eyes are not right for the glare. Everything is a smear of brake lights. I cannot trust myself to read in time. Renee's got the table already half set, and Fran's suitcase is open on the guest bed, and I go in to put my coat down, and there it is, a full set of dishes. China, wrapped up in dish towels, cushioned real careful like eggs. I did not say anything. I put my coat on the bed next to it, and I went back out to the kitchen. Now, here is the thing I keep turning over, and I do not fully know why it is the thing, out of everything that happened that day, but it is the thing. I set the table every year. Not the whole table, Renee does the whole table, but the head of it, my end, that has always been mine since my husband passed, because that is where the carving happens, and my husband used to carve, and now Mark carves, and I sit where I can watch him do it. Same seat, same corner, where the light from the window hits just right in the afternoon. Right about the time the pie comes out, I have watched that same light cross that same table 11 years running. Renee came in around 1 and started moving place cards. She did not ask me. I want to be fair here. She did not do it mean. She was not ugly about it. Her voice was light as anything, like she was talking about napkin colors. She said, "Oh, Mom, I moved you down this end. Is that okay? Fran's hip's been so bad since the surgery, she really cannot be near the draft by the window, and this way she is closer to the bathroom, too." And I said, "Sure." I said, "Sure, honey, that is fine." I moved my card myself down to the other end, near the kitchen door, where the swinging door bumps you if somebody comes through fast, which somebody always does on Thanksgiving, that door bumping open and shut all day with people carrying things. I want to tell you I made a scene. I did not. I want to tell you I cried in the bathroom, something normal like that. I did not do that either. I just stood there a second, holding my own place card with my own name on it, in Renee's handwriting, and then I went and I put it down where she had pointed, and I went back to the kitchen. Because here is what I know at 92 that I did not know at 60. You can lose a seat and not lose a thing that matters. And you can also lose a seat and lose something you cannot even name right, something underneath the seat, if that makes any sense. I do not expect it to. It did not fully make sense to me either, standing there with the card in my hand. Denny found me in the kitchen a minute later, asked did I need help with the yams, and I said no, go on. And he looked at me a second too long, like he might have heard some of it from the other room, but he did not say anything either, and I was grateful for that. I did not want it said out loud by anybody, including me. Dinner came together the way it does. Fran's dishes got used, the good china, hers, with the little painted birds on the rim, and my boat, my gravy boat, the one with the chip, stayed up on the shelf. Nobody asked for it. Renee had gravy in I do not even know what to call it, one of those poor spout measuring cups, glass, with numbers on the side. Perfectly fine gravy, went in a perfectly fine cup. I did not say anything about the boat either. We ate. Ma carved from the wrong end of the table now, since I had moved, and I watched him from down by the swinging door, and the door bumped twice during the meal. Once when Denny went for more rolls, and once when Fran's grandson went to get his phone charger, and both times it caught my chair a little, just a jolt, nothing that hurt. Fran's grandson is maybe 14, spent most of dinner on that phone under the table, and at one point his mother swatted his arm and he said something back sharp enough that the whole table went quiet a second. And then somebody laughed it off, and the gravy got passed, glass cup and all, right past me and back around, and nobody thought anything more of it. Somebody asked me to say what I was thankful for when we got to that part going around the table, and I said the boy, man, the food, the both of my sons being there, the roof, my health such as it is, all true. I did not mention the seat. I did not mention the boat. I do not know what I would have said even if I had wanted to say something, because I still cannot quite locate what it is I lost that day, only that it is a real thing. I felt the shape of it the whole meal, sitting by that door, watching the afternoon light cross the far end of the table without me in it. Fran's a nice woman. I want to say that plain. She thanked me for having her twice, and meant it both times, I could tell. She did not ask for my seat. She never would have thought to ask. It was not her doing the asking that day, and I do not hold a thing against her. Not one thing. She even asked me over pie how long I had had this house, and I told her, and she said it must be nice, having a place with that much history in it. And I said it was, and meant it, and thought about the shelf, and did not say anything about that part. At the end of the night, Renee was wrapping up leftovers, doing that thing where she presses the foil down too hard, and she said, "Oh, we should have used your gravy boat, Mom. I completely forgot we had it." And I said, "That is all right, honey." And that was the whole conversation about it. 4 sentences, maybe 5. That is all a thing like that gets most times. 4 or 5 sentences, and then everybody is talking about pie again. Denny drove me home around 8, dark already, that early winter dark that comes down like a lid. He carried my coat in for me, kissed my cheek, said the same thing he says every year, "Good dinner, Ma," and left. And I heard his car pull out of the driveway and go quiet down the street. I went in the kitchen, did not turn all the lights on, just the one over the stove, and I got the step stool, the one Mark tells me not to use, and I brought the gravy boat down off the shelf even though I had not used it, had not even taken it to Mark's house that morning. It had sat right here on my own shelf the whole day while I was 2 miles away, sitting by a swinging door. I do not know why I got it down. It did not need washing. Nothing had touched it since last year. I just wanted to hold it a second, I think. Feel the chip under my thumb, where his mother dropped it all those years back and cried like the whole thing had shattered. I did not cry either. I want that to be clear. I just held it under the one light over the stove, standing on my own kitchen floor in my own house, and after a while I put it back where it goes, not on the top shelf this time, lower one, where I do not need the stool, and that is where it is staying now. I have not told Mark I moved it. I do not expect I will.